Hello everybody, Isabella here, and today we are filming something that we haven't done for quite some time, which is the one-day make. I'm going to be making a 1818 dress that I need to take with me to Warsaw in a flight and shoot it there. So I have just one day, we're leaving tomorrow, so no pressure, right? It's also in a different space. I think it's the first time we've seen my new space. It's much smaller than the workshop I had before, but at least the views are much better. Let me have a look if we can see something. Looking out in a beautiful Devon and Somerset countryside. So I've got apparently stuff. I've got my bustle cage waiting, and I've got my fabrics. Let's grab the fabrics over here so you can see a little bit more. I've got this beautiful floral damask. I've got some, so that will be for apron, overskirt and some elements in the bodice. I've got some very light, nice sort of taupe brown silk. And for accents I haven't decided yet whether it's going to be this one or this one, probably this one actually. I've got my pattern so I don't have to think. This is the usual pattern I use for myself. And well, it's about 9:30 now. Let me put it back so you can see me. I need a pie bone. It's about 9:30 now. I've got my coffee, I've got my water, I've got a carefully cured playlist to keep me going. And contrary to lots of people think, I do not only work to classical music and waltzes and polkas or medieval romans. Today we have Billy Idol playlist. He's got a new single out, Cage, which is great, and his long race coming out as well quite soon, possibly yesterday. I only have to check. But that sort of nice 80s upbeat is going to keep me going, I think. I might need that. So without further ado, let's do some work. Let us start with the skirt first. For the skirt foundation, I'm using the pattern from my Victorian Dressmaker 2 book to go on a big cage. So that's the foundation without the inset. For the bodice, I'm actually going to use a 1883 adapted bodice from the first book, with a French bodice with an inset in front. And as far as the overskirt is concerned, I don't know really yet. I will see how much fabric I have left and take it from there. So it's very much a stash busting project. So we'll see how it works. We're starting with the cotton sateen for the foundation. It's just enough, I think. And let's see. So the skirt is cut out. I've got all the flat lined pieces here. Traditionally they would be left as they are, and seams will be finished after it's been sewn in by hand, but we live in 21st century and I needed to have to finish for tomorrow, and obviously need to keep the price reasonable. This gown is going to the shop, so bespoke gowns can have hand stitched finished inside. But for the off-the-peg gowns, it just makes so much more sense to provide a cheaper version. So I'll be using an overlock, which apparently has already been invented in the later part of the 19th century, but mostly used for not dressmaking really, but more sort of technical items and furnishing and stuff like that. But nowadays that's a little bit of a wonder, so that will tighten up and overlock or serge all the edges I will insert my pocket and I will stitch it all up. So far so good. Well, the skirt is almost done. The waistband is in. It doesn't really fit the dummy. It's a bit too small for the dummy, but hopefully it will fit me. I haven't done the hem yet. The finish will depend on what kind of decoration I will have time for. I have pocket. I have a pocket. So that will be left a little bit later. Obviously it will be sort of bordered with something, and if I have time for some ruffles, I'll have some ruffles. If I don't have time for some ruffles, I'll do something else. And I'll see how much of the other fabric I have left to see if I can incorporate a band of bows or whatever. So right, let's now have a look and start on the bodice. Right, so the bodice is all cut out with lining and main pieces. I sort of experimented a little bit and I've adapted the pattern to include a front inset and a back inset, something I haven't done for quite some time, or ever. So that is all going to be assembled. Again, originally it would be assembled and then the seams would be finished off. I'm using the wonder of the technology, my overlocker. It will take much less time. The beauty of the interlining, without adding additional lining, as lots of people expect nowadays, you have seams exposed. I'll show you later on what it means, but basically it means that you can adjust the sizing pretty easily, because you don't have to undo the linings and stuff like that, so people knew how to do it. The front has a facing as well, just to make it a little bit sturdier for the buttons. I might actually insert another, should be okay, another little strip of interlining to be a good base for the buttons and buttonholes. So that is going to get assembled first, flipped over, pressed, and then overlocked on the other side of the seam. So right, let's have a go at that. Once it's assembled, I will probably break for lunch. It's about 11:30 now, so it's not going too bad. I've used most of my brown fabric. I don't think there's a lot for the ruffles, but I might have ruffles in a different colour, you never know. So yes, let's have a look. I don't yet know how I'm going to decorate the sleeves and stuff, because it all depends how much fabric I have left once I cut out the overskirty thingy. Right, let's zoom it on the overlocker. Right, the time has arrived to try things on. So I usually recommend putting all your undergarments as you need them for bodice fitting, because it will influence the back pleats. Not much point getting a bustled bodice with lots of things going on here if you use it without a cage. But let's try the skirt at the same time. Let's grab a pin to close it. The pin. Okay. I need to lace myself a bit tighter, I think. Just about close it. The top tighter. Sorry, not the ideal position, but it works, and I have a big bum and a pocket. Let's have a look at the bodice. So as you can see, with flat-lined seams, obviously they will be pressed open nicely. They would be sort of either scalloped or whipped over by hand, if not like that. It's very easy to adjust the sizing. I usually make my bodices just a little bit too big and just tweak in the places that my body needs tweaking. So let's have a look. It possibly will be a little bit too big, but we'll see which places needs adjusting. And I see we've run out of thread. Hold on, one is not finished. So the adjustment is very convenient when obviously you are changing shape due to frequent pregnancies, or just eating a big dinner, or like having a coronavirus like me. But from the modern perspective, it is much easier to buy a bodice that is ready-made and just tweak it a little bit inside to your own measurements, because that doesn't really require a lot of knowledge. So right, let's put it on. Just about right, actually. Look, these are doing a little bit too high, I think, but not too bad. I usually use that opportunity to adjust the shape of the bottom, so I think this one I will just draw a line and make it a little bit more scooped. I find it much easier to do it at this stage here rather than plan earlier on. It is a bit too big at the waist. It's a bit this here is perfect. It's a little bit thicker, it's just about an inch. So I'm going to adjust that and then play with the sleeves and finishing. Big one. Cool. Right, it's about 2 o'clock. I've got the assembled bodice and sleeves. I've decided to change the sleeves a little bit and do it 3/4, so I've got the surplus. I'm going to do the buttonholes now before any edging is applied. It's just much easier this way. And then it will be piped, sleeves will be decorated and inserted, but I'm going to do that after I use this fabric for the overskirt, because I will see whether I'm going to be using this fabric for piping or this one, or maybe a third colour that I planned originally, which is the navy, somewhere around. So just the buttonholes now, and then cutting out the apron. Should be just enough fabric for that. And have a look how it goes. I've already had a bit of a break for lunch, so I have some replenished energy. So far I'm quite glad with how it's working out. Buttonholes, not by hand. Not for this. Before I go, this is my favourite gizmo for doing buttonholes. Let me see if I can get it better for you. There you go. It basically ensures equal spacing. I found buttons that may just work, maybe a little bit different. So I will go possibly with these ones, or maybe I should have navy ones. Darn it. Sorry, this way. You can see you can mark buttonholes clearly, and you can already go very tight buttonholes, not very little ones, and get on. I need to ponder the button question now. Right, it's about 4 o'clock now, and I've got 3 garments sort of almost, well, not really ready, but they have a shape. You know, they have a shape, that's it. And some decisions have to be made. So the bodice will get some decoration with the taupe braid. And there is just enough of fabric. As you can see, that's sort of all I have left from the flowery one. So there's just enough fabric to do some decorative bands on the sleeve. So Steve will have a decorative band of the floral fabric, framed with the braid, and a little lace at the cuff, and the lace along the neckline. The overskirt is going to get a bolder and a little bit heavier trim. I think it needs something a little bit heavier in navy to tie it all back. And the skirt is going to get hemmed, and I think I would like to make a ruffle for it. There's not enough of the brown fabric to make a ruffle, unfortunately. This is all I have left. It's just nowhere near enough, even for a narrow ruffle piece, just nowhere near enough. So I will use the same navy that is in the flower bit. So that's going to be a ruffle. Again, hopefully added band all around it, and the navy braid. Still a lot to do. I may not be able to bone the bodice today. That's a lot of hand stitching, or I will do it in the evening, but it should be wearable within a few hours time. I've got my coffee, I've got my protein bar. Let's be about it. Right, it's 6:30 and we are almost there. I think that's all machine stitching for today. So I just need to add buttons, add some lace to the decolletage, and finish the cuffs by hand. And it needs a good press really, especially the skirt. And I'm quite knackered, I must say. It's been quite a busy day, and it will be a busy evening sorting out stuff. In the end, I forgot to use this one completely, but I think I might add a big navy bow here and small bows on the cuffs, and maybe one here and one here. A few more bows, because bows. So I think I get some navy bows and use this one on a hem as well, just to give it a little bit more cohesion there. But apart from that, buttons this evening and it will be wearable. Hopefully it will not be lost to the luggage somewhere on the way to Poland. Nowadays you never know with Heathrow. So yes, some more hand stitching and we're done. Looking forward to wearing this one. Well, it's 11:30. Still Thursday. And I'm just putting the last bit of lace on the bodice. It's buttons. It won't be boned yet, but theoretically it's all done.